Hi, Assalamualaikum, have a good day everyone. So today we are going to discuss about the movements of substances across a plasma membrane in living organism. So in this topic, we are going to discuss about where do the gaseous transport occurs in living organism. First one, this process occurs in the gases exchange between the alveolus and the blood capillary through simple diffusion. Second one is about the reabsorption of water that occurs through the renal tubule in the kidney by osmosis. The third one is the absorption of fructose molecule in the villus by the facilitated diffusion. And the fourth one is the absorption of water by the plant root hair cells by osmosis. Now let me discuss about where do the active transport occur in the living organism. The first one is the reabsorption of glucose through the renal tubule in the kidney. Second one is the transport of sucrose from a leaf to a phloem tissue. Next one is about the absorption of glucose and amino acid in the villus. And last but not least, about the absorption of mineral ion by a plant root hair cells. So all of this is the active transport that occurs in the living organism. Generally, there are three types of solution, consist of the isotonic, hypotonic, and hypertonic. The diffusion of water will occur by osmosis from an area of high water potential to the area with a lower water potential across the plasma membrane. So without further delay, we are going to discuss about the three solutions that consist of the isotonic, hypotonic, and hypertonic solution. The isotonic solution consists of the solution A and B have the same concentrations of solution, so no net movements of water molecules. In this diagram, solution A is hypotonic to solution B. The solution A has a low solid concentration and high water potential, so that the water will diffuse from the solution A to B by osmosis. This is the hypertonic solution, and solution A is hypertonic to solution B. Solution A has a high solid concentration and low water potential, so that the water diffuses from solution B by osmosis. Now let me discuss about the effect of hypotonic, hypertonic, and isotonic solution on animal cell and plant cell. The cell cytoplasm contains solids such as glucose and mineral salt. The fluid inside the cell is called intracellular fluid. Meanwhile, the fluid that surrounded the cell is called extracellular fluid. The cell will always go through the osmosis process, and movements of water across the plasma membrane depends on the water potential of the extracellular fluid and intracellular fluid. For additional info, the term of hemolysis is only used for the burst of the red blood cells. Now let we take a look at the effect of this solution towards the animal cells and plant cells. The effects of the hypotonic solution for the animal cell is the water will diffuse into the cell by osmosis, and the cell will swell and finally burst. This is because the plasma membrane is too thin to withstand the osmotic pressure that build up in the cells. The burst of the red blood cell is known as hemolysis. Second one is about the isotonic solution. The water diffuses into and out of the cell by osmosis at the same rate, so no net movements of water across the plasma membrane, and the cells maintain their normal shape. And this is the effect of hypertonic solution. When red blood cells are placed in the hypertonic solution, the water will diffuse out of the cell by osmosis. This will cause the cell to shrink, and the red blood cells are said to undergo crenation. The conditions of the red blood cell is called prenatal. Furthermore, we are going to discuss about the effect of hypotonic, hypertonic, and isotonic solution on plant cell. Without wasting our time, let me go through about the plant cell in the hypotonic solution. The water will diffuse into the vacuole by osmosis, and this will cause the vacuole to expand and push the cytoplasm and plasma membrane against the cell wall, and the cells are said to be turgid. Cell wall is rigid and strong, therefore the plant cell will do not burst. The functions of turgor pressure is to give support and maintain the shape of the cell, and the cell turgidity causes the gut cell to swell and allow the stomata to remain open for photosynthesis. Next, we are going to discuss about the effect of hypertonic on the plant cells. The water diffuses out of the vacuole by osmosis. The vacuole and the cytoplasm will shrink, causing the plasma membrane to be pulled away from the cell wall, and this process is called plasmolysis. Plasmolysis causes the leaf and stem to bend downward and rot, and plasmolyzed plant cells can regain their turgidity and return by place the cell to a hypotonic solution immediately. So the cells are said to undergo the plasmolysis. Last one is the plant cell in isotonic solution. When the sap of the plant cell and extracellular solutions are isotonic, water potential is the same. The movements of water diffusions in and out of the cell is the same, and the cells become flaccid.